Hey, so I'm gonna share with you my experience about going cross-platform. I'm gonna try to squeeze in 15 minutes, quite long presentation, so I'm not gonna go into details as much as I would like to. Okay, this is a good start. It's not working. This is a summary. So I'm just gonna talk about like the gains about going cross platforms, identify some pains, one example, and then going more into details about Switch release planning, because it seems like many people are now very interested in this new platform. Okay. These are my contact details, Andreea with 2E. To remember, just because I'm paperless at this conference, so I don't have business cards. So try to remember my email. Raw Fury, it's a publisher of boutique games, indie games, all kind of genres. We have a very interesting lineup. These are the games we've been working on in the last 4 years. We do cross-platform games and primarily premium or paid games. So going directly into the topic of this presentation, why do I personally think cross-platform is good? You know, it has its advantages. First of all, it's an additional revenue streams. Every platform comes with additional revenue, right? Then you can reach new audiences with every new platform and new markets. Japan primarily focus on consoles. So if you bring your game to consoles, you might go there as well. Brazil primarily focus on Android and PC. This going to the traditional platforms could open a new market for you, but then also you could reach new players that usually don't play on PC or don't play on consoles. More visibility. Every new channel, it's an additional internet page with your game on it, which means more impression at the end of the day. From my experience, it's very difficult to predict which platform is gonna sell or perform better for your game. So by going multi-platform or cross-platform, you kind of avoid the risk of missing out on some revenue. And I'm gonna share with you our experience of going full cross-platform. The first time we've done it was last year in February with our game Dandara. It's a 2D platformer Metroidvania game. We released it on 6 platforms, so PlayStation, Xbox One, Switch, Android, Google Play, iOS, and PC. PC, different stores, but let's call it one platform. And we went with the same price point on all of them, $14.99 on mobile as well, just because we couldn't justify at that point why mobile would be cheaper, since the game experience was exactly the same on all the stores, and we thought it was very good no matter of the platform, because we worked a lot on having very good touch controllers and then console controllers and mouse and keyboard. Anyone wants to take a guess on which platform performed best? Anyone else? This is the distribution among the 6 platforms. I can tell you it totally, it surprised us a lot. It wasn't as we were expecting at all. This is a game made by a Brazilian team. We thought like, oh, Brazil is going to be a key market. There is PC, Android, as I said. The release totally surprised us. Unfortunately, I cannot go too much into details, sales number per platform, but I can tell you the top 2 platforms were touch platforms. And why this one surprised us a lot, because if I look at another month from last year, for revenue distribution across our, across all platforms for our entire portfolio in this case. So it's a month in which we had a sales campaign across all stores to some degree, and you can see that the distribution, the revenue is totally different. The trend, it's number of games, so it's not the performance per platform. So yeah, on some platforms we have more games, but still the trend does not align at all with how Dandara performed at launch. Another scenario, it's just a random amount from last year as well, when there was no release on our end, no sales activity, nothing special, and these 2 months don't overlap at all. I need to tell you that this distribution does not match our yearly revenue per platform, which is totally different. So my conclusion is just that the market is very volatile. You can never predict how a game is going to perform on a certain platform. We never had 2 games that had the same performance per platform. So it's very, very different from release to release. And that's why on our end, we are going to, avoid taking any risk and going cross-platform as much as possible if it makes sense for the game, of course. Not all games can, be played with touch or, But then going to the pains. I know it can be very tricky going. Sorry? Are you going to let us know which one was which ABC? I wasn't planning to share, numbers.
Oh, not numbers. No, the type of platform. Did you say touch?
Right.
Yeah, I'm guessing C is Steam.
Yeah, exactly. So it's Google Play, iOS, Steam, Xbox, Sony, and Switch. But please keep this in this room. I trust you. Okay, going to the pains. So if you want to go cross-platform, there are going to be a lot of discussions in the company, like what's the lead platform, price strategy, shall we go with the same price, shall we go with lower price on mobile? It can be very stressful. Then also very expensive, the porting, it's very expensive to bring the games to other platforms. Age ratings, you need to have age rating per each platform in particular. That adds a lot of cost. Then marketing, which platform should you prioritize? And more than that, after release, you'll have to support, if you have updates, new content, you have to support all the platforms, and it's a long-term cost. And since I mentioned about porting time and resources, I'm just gonna go into details with the planning for a Switch submission. Since time is short, I'm gonna focus only on Switch, but this can be easily adapted for other consoles as well, even mobile now, because you can have a lot of opportunities with mobile as well. It's always nice to submit builds before. You can have pre-orders now, like a lot of things around every release, and consoles as well. So there is a time grid here. As you see, some numbers have a minus in front of them, and then some of them are positive numbers. And why is that? Because in this scenario, in order to take full advantage of the platform features and opportunities, we are going to consider a release date, let's say May 1st. But what if we want to have also pre-order and a demo available 2 weeks before? And why not even a coming soon page 1 month before? I mean, you might decide to do it differently. But in this case, we are going to consider and work towards the date when we are going to have a page on a store. In this case, coming soon page, because we need to have everything approved, and we need to work towards that date. And from my experience, it's always safe to start the submission more or less 3 months before. So in this case, it's going to be 11 weeks. I said 3 months? Yeah, okay. So in this case, it's going to be 11 weeks before the coming soon page, which is the first, the 0 moment in our scenario. But before we start the submission, what things you need to have done already? You already apply for a product code, like months in advance, because you cannot start developing for Switch without this product code. You already have a dev kit, and you are already pitching, and you are in touch with the account managers at Nintendo. You are talking to them. It's like, do you have any events where I can maybe demo my game? Always good to have a demo as a Switch build. They're not gonna demo a PC build or another platform. You will start applying for age ratings for for all the regions you wanna launch your game in. So if you want Japan, you need 0 rating. Australia, for all the ratings, and it can take like 5 to 6 weeks to get this, and you need them before or during the submission when you do the submission. You are going to request assets from your developers. You are going to start, working with these raw assets, prepare a very nice trailer, I expect. And you are going to get also a release candidate for the developer that you are going to test. So in my case, I'm talking, like from a publisher point of view, but this could apply also for, like, if you are the developer and you self-publish. You start working on the drafts for the store page, the description, and you start working very early because you need to localize that in several languages. I know for Switch it's mandatory to have Dutch, for example, and that takes additional time, of course. Since we talked about the demo, we are gonna, start planning the demo submission as well. That mirrors the submission of the build. And we are gonna, so 11 weeks before, we're gonna submit the build, our first submission for the game. From my experience, in most cases, especially the first time, your first build is gonna fail. Usually it takes like 1 week for Switch, for Nintendo to go for certification of build. So 1 week after, you find out your first build failed. Developers are trying to fix the issues. At the same time, maybe you start submitting the demo build. The week after, you resubmit the main build. Failed again. Happens quite often. While they are working on fixing this issue, you are looking into marketing opportunities, what you can do to maximize your release. And I don't know if you've seen on Nintendo, every game, users can subscribe to follow that game. So it has a news section. But in order to have that for your game, you need to apply to Nintendo. You need to set up that channel. And that takes time as well. So you are resubmitting the build, but maybe you know about some issue that weren't fixed. They don't affect, the stability of the build. So you are going to request a waiver. You are going to beg Nintendo and say, like, I know about this issue. I promise I'm going to fix it before release. Can you please accept my build so that I can, release my game in time? Sometimes they say yes, sometimes no, But for that, you need to have also a patch submitted soon after. And you want this patch submitted quite fast because it should be available and approved before your pre-order starts. On Nintendo, if the game is on pre-order, the pre-order starts, the users can download the game. They won't be able to play it, but it's downloaded in their device, and you want it to be downloaded with the patch at the same time, especially if there might be like cloud saving issues or things like this. And yay, the page is approved. The build was approved, sorry. And then at this moment, you submit the store page, the assets for the store. Another thing you can do when it comes to marketing and awareness, so on the eShop, there is a news section separate than the news section in the game, following the game. That is owned and controlled by Nintendo. But, if you send them a good pitch about your game, they might actually feature it there. But for that, you need to submit this article a couple of weeks before your event, and that needs to be localized as well in all the languages they support on the store. So yeah, you are gonna submit this suggestion for, in our case, about the about the pre-order. After that, hopefully the store page has been approved in 1 week. Once that happened, you are gonna request keys for influencers, for reviewers. You cannot request these keys before your page has been approved. So everything, you see, like, it needs to be very well scheduled and planned. Yay, coming soon page has been made available on the store according to the plan. The day one patch has been approved as well. If you have more games released, maybe you are going to look into a conditional discount, so users who own another game of yours might be able to get a discount for the new game, things that you need to submit a few weeks in advance as well. And at this point, you can send also the keys to influencers and media. It's very important. Like, one thing I want to mention is, like, these keys can be activated only after you have a page approved on the store. So if you don't have coming soon page, if you don't have a pre-order and go directly with the release, then the media is going to be able to play the game only after the release of the game. And that is not exciting enough for them. It's like, why would I review a game if the game is already live? That's why I recommend, considering pre-orders, coming soon pages. You might send the suggestion for an article for the release. The demo has been made available, and the game is on pre-order. And the release, yeah, okay. This is like how it looks. This is kind of, yeah. I'm not sure if it's readable enough, but okay. So in the end, but I feel like one platform strategy cannot fit it all. Always add minimum 4 months for additional porting and submission. Take advantage of platform marketing channels. Each and every platform, they appreciate this. They have YouTube, they have their own social channels. They are eager to promote your game, but let them know in advance. Quality is key no matter of the platform. Users are less forgiving when you make them pay for a game, so for premium games, especially quite expensive games. And forget everything and just follow your heart in the end. Yeah, that's all.
That's brilliant, thank you. Thank you so much for that.